Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the last commission meeting of the year. Yay. Ms. Gomez, would you call the roll?
Hudley Hayes, DeLugich,
Here.
Babcock,
Present.
Hara, Woods Gray. Here. Fire Chief Crawley.
Here.
Deputy City Attorney Linda Nguyen.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. President Hudley Hayes has been excused for today's meeting, so you've got me, but it'll be a short one. I'll ask the chief to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, everybody stand, please. Hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing and join me in a moment of silence in honor of our past and present members of the Los Angeles City Fire Department who devote their lives to the protection of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So I'd like to invite any comments from my fellow commissioners. Any comments, reports, concerns? Okay, I was going to say something funny that my mom used to say, but I will not do that. Now I will turn over to the chief for her report.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'll be presenting my meetings and events from November 21st to December 4th. On November 26th, I had the opportunity to ride along in the Hollywood Christmas Parade, and this was the first time that we had the opportunity or made sure we gave the opportunity to our fallen firefighter families to participate, and we had a number of families there along with Task Force 27 who participated and the bandwagon, so that was a wonderful opportunity to support the family members as well as kick off the holiday season. On November 29th, I took the time to visit one of our retired firefighters. His name is James Sticklich at Northridge Hospital. He's one of our members who retired over 10 years ago in 2013. He is ill in the hospital, got to visit with his family, and our thoughts and prayers are with he and his family. He's going through a lot, and we're here to continue to support him and his family. At that same time, spent a little time in the emergency room. Had the opportunity to meet and discuss a number of things with Rescue 107 and Rescue 903. Had a good visit with them, and it's always good to have the opportunity to spend a little time and understand the lived experiences of our members firsthand. So that was a good opportunity to meet and greet with them. November 30th, we had our blood drive, and this was supposed to be originally at Fire Station 35. It was moved over to Children's Hospital. Any opportunity that we have to donate our blood and support that mission. In the end, it was also the opportunity to support one of our own, and that is an engineer who's assigned to Fire Station 35. We put this out to all members, and just to give you little specifics, one of the patients, and this is Engineer Matt Burrell from Fire Station 35B Platoon, was very thankful for the blood donation from our members. It benefited his 2-year-old who is battling with cancer at this very moment, and her name is Remy Bortel. So any opportunity we can come together collectively to support one of our own, we're definitely on board. So that was a great opportunity to represent the department and support one of our members. Also that same day, we've got a lot of retirees and retired members that are either going to retire or have retired just recently, and took the time to visit. This is Captain Bob Daniels, 37 years of dedicated service. He's was assigned to EMS 11, and all of our command staff is making the rounds and taking the time to just provide our gratitude with all of the members and wishing them well for a healthy and long retirement. A lot of those are happening every single day. December 1st was invited to participate in our UFLAC holiday party. Great opportunity to meet and greet and continue our positive relationship with the UFLAC Executive Board, and a number of elected officials were there as well. So UFLAC always does a fantastic holiday event to really kick off the season. And lastly, December 3rd, that was the San Pedro Christmas Parade, as it is the season as we speak. Again, had the honor to be able to sit beside Chief Moore, where that was his last opportunity, and now we're moving him up in our DEI side of the house over here within our department. But a great opportunity to represent the department at the San Pedro Christmas Parade. And that's the end of my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions or comments? All right. Now we have a number of verbal reports on significant incidents for the period of November 21st to December 4th. Chief Legal.
Good morning, Madam Vice President.
Good morning.
Commissioners, Fire Chief Crowley, members of the board, members of the audience. My name is Philip Flegel. I'm assigned to Operations Central Bureau. I'd like to share with you an event that happened on December 1st, 2023 at approximately 1 a.m. in the morning. LAFD firefighters and paramedics responded initially to a reported rubbish fire within the 1000 block of West Sunset Boulevard, which was located in Fire Station 3's First in Council District 1. LAFD firefighters and paramedics were on scene in 4 minutes and 54 seconds. First resources reported it appeared to be an exterior rubbish fire that extended into a 25 by 75 foot two-story office building with fire on the first floor. Additional resources were requested, and the incident grew into a structure fire. Firefighters deployed in the offensive mode and property profile. The incident commander, Battalion Chief Mike Castillo, requested additional resources to assist with forcible entry, ventilation, rapid intervention, and medical needs. Due to the fire's scope, size, and complexity, the fire rapidly grew into a major emergency structure fire, and the incident commander was transferred to Assistant Chief Steve Hissong, while Chief Castillo transitioned to Operations Section Chief. The fire soon extended into the second floor and into the attic. While engaged in a fire attack on the second floor, 2 firefighters fell through a charged section of the floor. Luckily, it was a soft landing and to the first floor section of the building that did not have fire involvement. Both firefighters were able to walk out of the building on their own. Both members were medically evaluated and transported to a nearby hospital for evaluation and treatment for very minor injuries they sustained from the fall. Both members were returned to full duty that day. It took 104 firefighters and paramedics nearly 1 hour to achieve a knockdown. And upon initial investigation, it was revealed that the fire did not originate on the outside, but actually had started within the building and on the first floor. Fire more than likely burned undetected for some time and compromised the second floor structure members, and this is more than likely why the firefighters fell through that structural collapse they had on the second floor. And again, this highlights the unknown dangers that firefighters face every day, and it's also a testament to our importance of our protective, our PPE that we have, personal protective equipment, radio communications, and our firefighter emergency training that we receive. There were no civilian injuries, and the specific cause of the fire is still under investigation with LAFD counterterrorism section investigators. And that's all I have. May I answer any questions at this time? Okay, great.
Well, thank goodness the firefighters are okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
I believe we have another report.
Good morning, Vice President DeLugich, Fire Commission, Fire Chief Crowley.
Good morning.
City Attorney Nguyen, Letitia, command staff, members, and valued guests. I'm Assistant Chief Guy Tomlinson, Operations South Bureau. I'm reporting on a significant incident that highlights the incredible efforts the men and women of your LAFD demonstrated during the Vernon incident. That occurred on Tuesday, November 28th, 2023 at 03:25 hours in the morning, A shift on duty. Engine 21 was initially dispatched to a rubbish fire in the 1500 block of Vernon Avenue. En route, this was upgraded to a structure fire. Engine 21 got on scene in 4 minutes and 54 seconds to find a 30-foot by 140-foot wood frame building under construction, fully involved with fire with exposures on all sides, including the dwellings on the other side of the alley and the other side of the street, on the south side of the street. A defensive mode was declared with exposure profile, which means they're going offensive in all the exposures, and they put in an aggressive fire attack to save the exposures and the residents that were in those dwellings. Under the direction of Command 22, Assistant Chief Lewis, 140 firefighters were able to achieve a knockdown in 1 hour and 18 minutes. There were 3 civilian injuries, 2 requiring transport to a local hospital. 7 buildings that were exposed to the fire were damaged and evaluated by Building and Safety, 5 of which were red tagged, non-inhabitable, 2 were yellow tagged. The fire displaced 22 residents through collaboration of your LAFD, the Red Cross, and the Emergency Management Department, we were able to get everybody relocated. The cause of the fire is under investigation by the Arson Counterterrorism Section. Thank you. That is the end of my report. Do you have any questions?
Not questions, but just comments. That to me was one of the worst fires I've seen in recent years, because 5 houses being damaged with fire. It was just like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of houses and a lot of people being affected. But I thank the LAFD firefighters for the work that they did, because it was a massive fire. It was just, to me, one of the worst things I've seen, because it involves so many houses. We've had big buildings go up, but not houses. And from one fire that was started in a construction site, I don't know, does that indicate that we need to inspect construction sites more, or we don't really know yet until the investigation is over. Okay, but I just wanted to comment and say thanks to those well-trained LAFD firefighters that you were able to put that out and stop it where you did, because it seemed to be moving really rapidly. And it was mind-boggling looking at that I'm going, wow, houses on fire. We see one house, but never 5.
And there were some LAUSD students living in 2 of those 5 houses. So the district, again, thanks the department and is working with those families to make sure those kids have a safe place. So thank you.
Oh, good.
Absolutely. Thank you for the comments. The fire department put out a great effort to save those, all the houses that were surrounding it. And of all the houses, 7 were impacted, and all 22 residents were able to be relocated. So thank you for recognizing the efforts that they put forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Chief Fields. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Vice President DeLucich,
Good morning.
fellow commissioners, Chief Crowley, Attorney Nguyen, command staff, and guests. My name is Richard Fields. I am the Deputy Chief Operations West Bureau, and I'll be reporting on a couple of incidents that happened on December 1st, ironically, both in Fire Station 35's first in. On Friday, December 1st, LAFD resources from Operations West Bureau responded to the 1100 block of North Berindo. This is in Council District 4, Fire Station 35's first in, on a report of a structure fire. First arriving resources got there in just over 2 minutes, found a 1-story vacant single-family dwelling that was well involved with fire. The resources deployed on that structure in the defensive mode, primarily because considering the minimal gain that could be had by being in the offensive mode. However, there were several exposures around that well-involved structure, and on those, resources deployed in the offensive mode to aggressively protect those exposures from further damage, similar to what was mentioned by Chief Tomlinson earlier. So those coordinated efforts protected those structures from any significant damage. Additional forcible entry, search and rescue was performed on those structures, and due to the amount of fire and the complexity of that incident, it did grow to what we call a greater alarm structure fire. It was under the command of Battalion Chief Greg Avery and Battalion 11, assisted by Battalion 5, as well as Chief Zipperman in Command 52 out of our office. It took 14 LAFD fire companies and 5 rescues just over an hour to extinguish those flames. On that incident, there were no civilian injuries. No one was displaced, and we utilized a plethora of resources to stabilize that incident. Now, I'd like to share with you a second incident that actually happened in Fire Station 35's first in as well at about 7:21. So just within an hour, you had 2 significant fires that happened in Fire Station 35's first in, and many of the resources that were deployed to the first fire had to pick up rapidly, as well as the command team, and move to that second fire. On that incident, the cause of the incident is under investigation. However, there was some suspicion. There was initially a dynamic rescue by an onlooker of the resident in the involved structure, which turned into a significant attic fire. That person was overcome by smoke, could not accomplish the rescue, but because our firefighters arrived on scene, in just over 4 minutes, they were able to effectively rescue that female patient, assess her on scene, and effectively transport her to the hospital. These two fires, although probably not big in scope, definitely highlight the preparedness, the training, and the leadership that exists on your LAFD. But it also underscores Chief Crowley's efforts to bolster our ranks. If we had closed fire stations at that time, if we didn't have the resources that we need, then there's the potential that that rescue could not have taken place. So thanks to the efforts and the support from the Fire Commission on those, because it highlights the very need for our resources to be bolstered every day. That's the end of my report, unless there's any questions.
Any questions or comments?
I was wondering, how often do they get calls for different incidents at the same time?
It happens quite regularly, Commissioner Woods Gray. Not necessarily that the incident is dynamic, but quite often they're going from one EMS call to another, so it may not be a fire, but they're constantly picking up and going to the next emergency, being interrupted in the middle of training and being interrupted in the middle of meals. So it's a common practice for our firefighters and paramedics and EMTs to be interrupted in the middle of something or to move from one incident to the other. Just looking at the resources that were dispatched to the second fire, they came from another district. They could have been picking up from an incident that they were involved in as well. So it's quite frequent that that happens.
Mm-hmm. Now, every incident is a big incident, especially to the people that is involved in it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Then none of them are little. I mean, it may not be as massive as a huge flame as you said, but if it's even whatever the little incident is, when it's you, it is massive.
Absolutely.
So we don't take any of them lightly, and we're just happy that the LAFD is able to move there and get there quickly and support the citizens of LA.
Well, we're certainly honored to serve the city, and we take a lot of pride in being prepared to be reactive the way we are. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And our fourth report.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Madam Vice President DeLugich, Commissioners Babcock and Woods Gray, Fire Chief Crowley, City Attorney Wynn, Leticia, command staff, members, and valued guests. My name is Jason Hing, and I am the Deputy Chief assigned to Operations Valley Bureau. I have the privilege of presenting a significant incident that occurred in Operations Valley Bureau that highlights the incredible risks our women and men face every day. At 0442 hours on Sunday, December 3rd, 2023, LAFD resources were dispatched to 13745 North Glen Oaks Boulevard in the Sylmar area of the North Valley Council District 7 on a reported structure fire. Initial calls to 911 reported not only the fire, but gunshots in the immediate area. Firefighters arrived on scene within 5 minutes and 41 seconds to discover a one-story, single-family dwelling with heavy fire showing and could hear the distinct sounds of ammunition going off as they approached the residence. This hazard was communicated to all other responding companies, and the incident priority immediately transitioned to firefighter safety. Firefighters initiated an aggressive and well-coordinated defensive attack on the fire with a concentrated effort on protecting the adjacent exposures. The fire caused heavy damage to a total of 3 structures on the 1.6-acre property. After firefighters gained control of the blaze, during their search of the property, they located the body of a woman in a swimming pool and discovered another victim located alongside a dog in the rear structure. A human remains detection canine was requested to assist with the search of the entire property, and no other victims were found. LAFD arson investigators worked with LAPD, OVB homicide detectives, and Major Crimes Division to determine the sequence of events that led up to this tragedy. And this is still currently an ongoing investigation. And this incident highlights the dangers that our brave members face on a daily basis while faithfully serving the many communities throughout the greater Los Angeles area. This is the end of my report. Are there any questions?
Questions or
I
comments?
don't have questions, but it reminds me, there was another shooting incident where there was a fire that really was, I couldn't put the fire out until they contained the shooter. So then, but it was, the danger of it just came to mind, that it was, it made it firefighting a lot more dangerous than it normally is. In the city of LA, things are just changing so drastically.
Right.
But that's two incidents with guns and ammunition and something that could damage or hurt somebody. So thank you for all the work that you do, and firefighters, be careful out there.
You never know what you're going to find, do you? Hello, Commissioner Hara, welcome. Oh, Commissioner Hara is present. All right, I believe that concludes.
I did get it, yes. I did.
That concludes the reports of significant incidents and activities. Now let's hear about medical emergencies. I wasn't going to pass you by. I would never forget you. Hi, Chief.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Vice President DeLugich, Commissioners, Chief Crowley, Deputy City Attorney Nguyen, colleagues and guests. My name is Peter Shao. I'm assigned to the Emergency Medical Services Bureau. I'd like to highlight an incident that occurred on November 25th at 4:17. That afternoon, Rescue 20 and EMS 11 were dispatched to an encampment alongside the 101 freeway where they discovered a newborn baby that was left inside of a tent. The tent owner had returned at 10 a.m. and found a newborn dressed in pajamas, wearing a diaper, that had been wrapped in a blanket and placed inside of his tent. He told LAPD that he had no idea who had left the baby.
Wow.
And he didn't want to leave the baby alone, so he waited until his girlfriend returned to use her phone to call 911. And so the subsequent call was made at 4:17, 6 hours later. Upon our arrival of Rescue 20 and EMS 11, they found a premature baby boy weighing approximately 1.7 kilograms, again, dressed in pajamas with the diaper on, with a pulse rate of about 130. The infant appeared to be severely dehydrated with a blood glucose of 30, which is very, very low. Normally, it's in the range of 80 to 120 or so. The Light Force 20 was added for additional personnel to assist in the transport. The child was transported in serious but stable condition over to Children's Hospital, where it remained in the ER for a number of hours before they could rehydrate it and bring the blood glucose up. And then it was subsequently, and the boy was subsequently moved over to the neonatal ICU unit and is now in stable condition. So,
Oh, my God.
that concludes the end of my report. Actually, one more thing to add. It just kind of highlights the diversity of the response that the Los Angeles City Fire Department sees on a day-to-day basis and the good work that our members do. That's the
Absolutely.
end of my report.
That's horrible. Oh, poor little baby. Thank you so much, Chief Shao.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? All right. I believe we do have presentations today, a couple. Come on up.
Okay, Vice President DeLugich, Commissioners, Fire Chief Crowley, Leticia, and City Attorney, LAFD Administration, and guests. My name is Adam Van Gerpen. I'm a Captain 1 and currently serving as a Public Information Officer. And today we are here to recognize 2 of our LAFD members who have recently been promoted to the highest rank of enlisted members in the Marine Corps as Master Gunnery Sergeant. So this is done through an act of Congress. And before we go any further into this, I'd like to call the members up. So firefighter paramedic Nick Darcy and firefighter David Ariana, if you could just please stand back here. So today we have Nick Darcy's here. David Ariano is here, joined by his wife here, Emily, and their son Asher is able to join us also. So he's got his fire helmet, and he's got his gear on there. So their other kids are in school. So David's other children were not able to make it. So Lily and Grace are in school right now. And Nick's family is his fiance is home with their 11-month-old baby. And his son Wyatt, Peyton, Colton, and Liliana are also at home or in school. So I want to talk a little bit about the Master Gunnery Sergeant rank. I was in the Marine Corps. I see we have President Freddie Escobar over here is in the Marine Corps. And making Master Gunnery Sergeant is the highest rank available to Marines who have chosen to follow a career track as a technical specialist in the United States Marine Corps. So Master Gunnery Sergeants serve as technical experts and offer their leadership to large units of Marines. Less than 1% of Marines will ever achieve the rank of Master Gunnery Sergeant. There are less than 50 Master Gunnery Sergeants in all of the Marine Corps, and we have 2 of them with us in the LAFD. So, yeah. So, thank you. Thank you very much. I know they appreciate that. Okay, so as they are very humble, which is not usually something that describes Marines, but they're very humble in talking about all their accolades. You can see by the military ribbons that they wear the amount of service that they've done to our country. So this achievement of Master Gunnery Sergeant is even more elite because in the entire infantry of the Marine Corps, there's only 7 Master Gunnery Sergeants. So firefighter paramedic Nick Darcy is one of those 7 in the infantry. In the area of for David Ariano's field, he is the only Master Gunnery Sergeant in his field for all of the Marine Corps reserves. So. Because they are humble, I'm going to talk a little bit about them because they probably won't say much about what they've done. So I'm going to start with first firefighter paramedic Nick Darcy. He enlisted in the Marine Corps in May of 2001. He graduated as Company Ironman. He then reported to the School of Infantry, followed by Security Guard Forces School. In 2002, Darcy deployed with the 2nd Fleet as an anti-terrorism security team, and he deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Then in 2003, firefighter paramedic Nick Darcy deployed with the 2nd Fast Company to Bahrain and forward deployed to Iraq as a squad leader in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. So when we celebrate Veterans Day every year, I watch for his social media posts. He recognizes all of his brothers that are not here anymore. So in 2020, Darcy reported to the Naval Expeditionary Combat Headquarters, that's in Norfolk, Virginia, where he was the operations chief and he mentored and oversaw over 40 staff NCOs and 30 senior officers spread out throughout the nation. In September 2023, Nick Darcy was promoted to his current rank of Master Gunnery Sergeant. He now is a military advisor to the 1st Naval Construction Regiment. So he said he couldn't have done this without the support of his family, his new fiance now, and so he's been doing this actively serving the military while also in the LAFD. So thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'd like to tell you a little bit about firefighter David Ariano. He was born in East LA to a long and proud family of Angelinos. His dad, Bill Ariano, served as a sergeant for LAPD. David enlisted into the United States Marine Corps in December of 1997. He learned his trade as an artillery scout observer and then went on to school for a naval gunfire spotting. He was hired by the LAFD in 2003. So he talks a little bit about how he was on probation in 2003 while he was concurrently fulfilling his reserve obligation with the 5th Marines, 5th Battalion, 14th Marines. So it's by a coincidence, he found out that Frank Hodgkin Memorial Training Center was also home to his current unit when it was operating as the Naval and Marine Corps Center And in his words, it was meant to be. So in June of 2005, Sergeant Ariano then was involuntarily activated in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. And he was put on a long-term military leave from the fire department for a whole year. So during this time, he was deployed to Fallujah in the Al-Anbar province of Iraq. And you can tell by the amount of military ribbons on there what him and his unit did over there in Fallujah. So after promoting through the ranks of Staff Sergeant and Gunnery Sergeant, now Master Sergeant Ariano transferred to Fort Worth, Texas, where he became the Regimental Fires Chief for the 14th Regiment. So not Fire Chief, but Fires Chief. He calls in the firing orders. So this was the last stepping stone and the only opportunity to pick up the rank of Master Gunnery Sergeant. So in October of 2021, his dream came true, and he promoted to the rank of Master Gunnery Sergeant. He is the one and only artillery scout observer in the entire Marine Corps to hold this rank. So David Ariano is married to his wife, Emily, who is here joining us today. So she's been there through all of this. She's been there through all the twists and turns, going through the drill tower, making it through probation, adjusting to normal firefighter life, and then having him deployed with the Marine Corps for over a year, and then readjusting back to normal life after that. So thank you, Emily, for supporting him. So I'd just like to give a hand to these two humble combat Marines who have proudly served the city of Los Angeles and reached the elite status of promotion to Master Gunnery Sergeant. Okay, so with that, we do have a couple of certificates from Chief Crowley, and I can briefly read them. So certificate of appreciation to Nicholas M. Darcy, firefighter paramedic, in recognition of your dedicated service to the United States Marine Corps, and congratulations on your promotion to the rank of Master Gunnery Sergeant. Your ability to balance military and family life while serving as a firefighter paramedic is admirable. The Los Angeles City Fire Department commends you for your bravery and exceptional efforts while being deployed to Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. Presented on this 5th day of December 2023, Kristen M. Crowley, Fire Chief. We'll take some pictures after.
So Chief, would you like to say a few words and maybe we can get those
Yeah, we're
guys?
gonna have- we
I
got
have the
one more.
one more for David
They don't have
Ariano
to
as well.
share. Good, that's good. I'm
Yeah.
glad they each got one.
Yes, they each get one. And so David Ariano, the firefighter 3, this is in recognition for your dedicated service to the United States Marine Corps. Congratulations on your promotion as well to the rank of Master Gunnery Sergeant. Your ability to balance your military and family life while serving as a firefighter 3 is admirable. The Los Angeles City Fire Department commends your bravery and exceptional efforts while being deployed to Fallujah in Iraq, supporting Operation Iraqi Freedom. Presented this 5th day of December 2023, Fire Chief Kristen M. Crowley.
Thank you, Chief.
I am absolutely so proud of both of you. I tell you, on behalf of our entire department in the city, thank you for your service and your sacrifice, and to Emily and your family, thank you to the families that also sacrifice. We're looking for opportunities to always highlight the incredible work of our people, and the LAFD is full of individuals just like you that go above and beyond, but we had to highlight this exceptional service to our country and the every single day sacrifice and commitment dedication to the city of LA. So on behalf of everybody here and the city that we serve, we thank you. We're extremely proud of you. And I cannot wait to continue to support you in your efforts. And we're just extremely proud of who you are and what you represent. So thank you for what you do.
Would any commissioners like to say anything before we go take pictures? Okay.
Just thank you. What an incredible feat that you two have made. And again, like the fire chief said, serving our country. And we're lucky to have 2 of the 50 in the entire Marine Corps here in this city and with us. So thank you to you and your families for everything and wanting to be firefighters with LA. Thank you.
And I would just say congratulations and thank you for the hard work, because doing firefighting is enough, and then paramedics, that's another job.
Right.
And then you go out and then you help to protect and serve our country. And we are extremely appreciative of the services that you provided for helping to protect and save our country. Because as we look around the world today, we count our blessings every day, even more so. And I've had so many people tell me how grateful they are to live in the United States of America. And so we thank you for being a part of that great challenge that makes it safe for us to be here and to do the things that we do. And I commend the father of that little boy, because as a teacher, I noticed him. He knows how to catch his sneeze and cough. I said, oh, that little boy has been well trained. I love it. Some adults don't do that. Many adults don't do that. He is really cute. Thank you very much again. And we're proud to have you as a part of the LAFD.
Commissioner Hara?
Just congratulations. Actually, I was the last naval medical officer to serve in Vietnam. As the medical officer for the cruiser destroyer force of the 7th Fleet. And I was on board the USS Turner Joy. And for those of you who know history, the Turner Joy and the Maddox were the 2 destroyers that were fired upon by Vietnamese fishing boats. And in the words of LBJ, we replied. and so I went overseas with Turner Joy, came back, and I actually trained in internal medicine. But when I came back to the Naval Hospital in Long Beach, I had to do deliveries, I had to see children, I had to do a lot of psychiatric counseling, and de facto I was a family doctor. So it was at that point I decided I'm going to sit for the family medicine boards, and I became a family doctor. I had the pleasure of serving on the board of directors of the American Board of Family Medicine about 10 years ago. And since I trained in internal medicine, I could have trained in pediatrics or OB/GYN. I am one of the 6 surviving grandfathers of the specialty of family medicine. So,
Wow.
But again, we're so proud of you just as being part of our LAFD, but above and beyond that, just, the recognition that we're giving you today in terms of your accomplishments with the Marine Corps and everything is beyond words.
I would also like to thank you for your service and heroism, and again, recognize the sacrifice of your families for all these decades. I know it's got to be really tough, so I appreciate all of you. Thank you. Should we take pictures?
I just wanted to give them the opportunity to say
Oh,
a few
please,
words.
please, make them talk.
Hey, I'd like to thank everybody. This was not possible without the support. I've had great captains. We're known as administrative nightmares sometimes because we take off, we go, we have weird codes to put in, and these captains are like, I don't know what to do with you guys. And all these years, they've done a great job. I've never had any issues with pay. I've never had issues with support. When I've deployed, they've always reached out to me like a big family. LAFD has been an amazing family. When I was deployed overseas, constantly getting emails, constantly getting calls. Even captains that I did not know and chiefs that I did not know were emailing me. So, like I said, without the support of LAFD, this would not have been possible. Without the support of my family, definitely would not have been possible. Between FEMA, being on the FEMA team, the TEMS, all these other side jobs in the fire department, it's just been a strain, and I just, thank everybody for allowing me to do it all. Thank you.
Captain Ariano.
Commission Board, Madam Vice President, Fire Chief, members. Yeah, I'm not a very distinguished speaker, but I will say that thank you so much for this opportunity, for my wife being here, and one of my kids being here. Chief, you said it beforehand. There are too many people on this department that deserve this type of recognition with their military service, doing, at the same time doing their firefighter service. And Nick and I are very lucky to be, I guess, identified in this capacity, and we're very humbled and honored for that, especially in front of such distinguished guests and family members. So thank you so much. There are so many people that brought us to this level. Nick can attest to that as well, that we've attained this rank because we've stood on the shoulders of giants. Some of those giants being members that have brought us through boot camp, and other members that have mentored us into this position. And that goes along with being in the fire department as well. Fire Chief Crowley was one of the, let's just say she was one of the drill instructors in my academy back in the day. So it's a very I've come full circle now to come back, and now she's the fire chief and giving me a recognition to be in front of you, fine people. So thank you so much. And Emily, I would not have been able to do this without you. I know that Nick is saying the same thing about his significant other, but it's been tough. It's been tough to balance the two with being a firefighter, a Marine, a father, and whatever else we do on the side. But she's definitely taken up taking the brunt of the burden. So thank you so much, my love.
Thank you. Come on up, Lynn and Asher.
Proud of you guys. Let me get in the middle. Get this picture first.
Oh, no, it's very temperamental.
I've never felt safer.
Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, now let's do individual ones with the fire chief also. All right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, day one, you have a friend check?
He's got some stickers.
You got some swag. Okay, right here, 1, 2, 3. Right here, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Commissioners?
Thank you so much. Congratulations. It's an honor. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so much. What an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. Okay, looking up here. Okay, ready? Count 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. All right.
Come out again. Where are you, LA girl?
right, that was very exciting. Thank you, everyone. That's pretty cool. Very cool. Do we have any public speakers, Letitia? Okay, everybody's taking the day off. All right, so we'll move on to our consent items. We have 2 consent items. One is a report on the status of LAFD projects, and the other is on an amendment with Apple One for as-needed temporary staffing services. Does anyone have any questions or comments on the consent items, or would we like to move them?
I move items A and B on the consent item agenda, BFC 23-125 and BFC 23-126.
Thank you, and do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Those items will go through on consent. We have only one regular agenda item, Report 23-124, on a possible amendment to Section 5.148 of the Los Angeles Administrative Code, which would increase the revenue limit of the LAFD Special Training Fund. And we have Chief Gutierrez to present that to us.
Good morning, Madam Vice President,
Good morning.
Commissioners, Fire Chief Crowley, City Attorney, command staff, and guests. My name is Stephen Gutierrez, and I have the privilege to serve as the Commander of Training and Support Bureau. Before you, you have Board Report 23-124, and we come to you with a request to amend Section 5.148 of the Los Angeles Administrative Code. As you see, Section 5.148, as you read through the report, the objective today is to amend this to increase the revenue limit of receipts deposited into the Special Training Fund. A little bit of history on this. In 1997, the original ordinance was passed. And at that time, it was set at $1 million. Moving forward, beyond that, 2001, once again, it was amended at that point and became 1.5 million, where it sits today. As we look through this and looking back over time, in 2017, the department moved to try to amend it and actually eliminate the ceiling. And at that point, we were unsuccessful. So looking and just using consumer price index and looking at rate of inflation, today's value of the 1.5 that was set in 2001 is approximately 2.6 million. So we come today to look and to assist us in moving this forward to council to get this amendment moving forward. If you look through the report, you'll look at a lot of the obligatory training that goes on. It's rather costly. So essentially, 4 of the big items that we do that are required trainings for the department eat about $1 million of that dollars. So it leaves very little for us to work with. So this is really much needed. I do have in the room Maria Pasquale, which works at Training Support Bureau as a senior management analyst, who, again, want to thank her, that manages this fund ongoing regularly. That's it. End of report. If there's any questions.
Thank you. Do any commissioners have any questions or comments on this report? Commissioner Babcock?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay, sorry. Thank you. Okay. Commissioner Hara? Okay, I just had one quick question, and that is, do we, of course, this seems like a fantastic idea. Do we have a sense of where council members are on this?
No, I don't, ma'am. Given the time since the last time it was amended, I think most people realistically would look at inflationary factors and today's cost and would assume that it needs to be adjusted.
I agree. And I have both lobbied and been lobbied, and just want to, again, offer whatever help I can, and I'm sure my other commissioners would too. If you need help talking to council members or the mayor's office, we'd love to help make this happen, I think I can say, on behalf of all of us. Any other questions or comments? Or all right, then do we have a motion to approve and transmit?
Motion to approve item 6A to transmit to City Council.
Okay, moved by
Second.
Commissioner Babcock, second by Commissioner Hara. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. That was, we're going to approve and transmit to the City Council. All right, thank you so much, Chief Gutierrez. You're very compelling. I believe that brings us to the end of our meeting.
Actually, Vice President,
Sorry.
Deluge, I just wanted to bring up that we've neglected to actually vote on consent items.
I realize that too. All right, so let's have a vote on on our consent items. It was moved by Commissioner Woods Gray and seconded by Commissioner Hara. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any opposed? I didn't think so. Okay. Thank you for that. City Attorney Nguyen, sorry about that. Okay, and then that brings us to the end of the meeting. So goodbye until 2024. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Can I make just one statement before?
Yes, of course.
Last meeting, Chief McKnight was not here, present, and he is today. And I think that he's retiring the first of the year. And
But who's counting?
and yeah, we're losing. Oh, I can't even believe that he would be leaving. I've never thought of that before. But at any rate, we want to thank him for his service in his presence that we did last month meeting, and especially for the youth programs, all the extra volunteer work that you and your family did. I got to know your wife and your girls through the Saturday programs. And it's just remarkable the work that you did. And to see the young people come out of that program with so many skills and ready to be firefighters or to go on to be something else, but they gained so many wonderful life skills that you have spearheaded that program for over 20 years, isn't it? And I just wanted to commend you for that service and thank you in your presence and wish you the best in your retirement. And I don't know, if I had anything to do with it, I wouldn't let you retire.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Commissioner Woods Gray.
Now, the other person, I think, is Ronnie V. He's not leaving January. Oh, good.
And
We'll get him
Chief
when he-
McKnight, I hope you heard at least a recording of the plaudits that President Hudley Hayes gave you last meeting. So with that,
Did we get a vote? I don't remember.
we did.
Yes.
We did. We did. Happy and safe holidays, everybody, and we'll see you in January.
Yes, happy holidays.
The meeting is
everybody.
adjourned.